lived and wrote some of his greatest poetry. And down the road was his good friend, another poet called Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And one of Coleridge's most famous poems is called Xanadu. And the start of it is, in Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alph, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So these are very famous lines. You may have heard them before. And we were looking at the poem, studying it, and even using it in meditation. And as I did all of that, those lines, those images became really powerful for me. I mean, I like poetry, but images have that effect. They have that power. And these images reminded me of meditation. So, Alph, the sacred river, ran. It's like following a channel through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea, down to something deep. And that's what we do in meditation. We go from our discursive mind and we follow a journey into something deeper. Okay? So a meditation works on all of these levels. It works on the level to calm down if that's an immediate need. We're moving, we can say, from thinking to sensing, contacting the body. And that goes along with another kind of shift in modes from what we can call doing mode, busy, to being mode, just being. So we're learning how it feels to connect with the body and a grounded awareness. And, so that's a lot of what we're doing in meditation, especially in a short meditation, especially when we're quite new to meditation. It's a really important skill that we need to bring to the whole of life. But then there's this deeper level. So the pleasure dome in that poem of Coleridge's is on the surface, but then there's a sacred river, a channel of life and energy, and down to some deep and mysterious, powerful way of being, the caverns measureless to man, the sunless sea. And that's really important. We need that to be in touch with it. We need to be in touch with it in order to be really fully alive. And that's the deeper level of meditation. So thank you for sharing your experiences of what helps you become calm. And here are a few suggestions or what helps with people. Mellow or classical music, nature sounds, baking, swimming laps, bubble baths, yes, good, gardening, chatting with an old friend over tea, journaling, and dark chocolate. Not just any chocolate, dark chocolate. Good. So thank you for sharing that. Those connections of what it feels like to calm down, that's really important. That's the key to meditation. So let's bring that into the practice, that sense of what it feels like to become more calm and settled. Okay. So deciding now how are we going to sit? How do you want to sit for this practice? So the focus is on being centered. So let's just pay attention to that in our posture. Some way to feel really grounded, maybe feet on the floor, or if you're kneeling or sitting on a cushion like me, feeling that connection with the floor. If you're lying down, feeling the earth, feeling the call of the center of the earth exercising on the body through the force of gravity. Maybe take a deeper breath. And how are we going to sit to feel stable? Let the weight rest down. So there's that downward movement of settling. We can take a deep breath, breathe out, and feel everything settling down. And then there's another movement that goes along with that, an upward movement of breath flowing in, body rising, spine extending, chest opening. So take another deep breath and just feel the breath flowing in. It's okay to overdo it, to exaggerate it. Smile. So grounding, centering, becoming present. Feeling the breath. And just acknowledging as we settle everything that's there on the surface of our experience. There are probably thoughts. What are those thoughts? Just notice how the mind likes to be busy. Or perhaps you've got something on your mind. It's going to be tugging away. It's going to be saying, give me your attention. Well, perhaps it needs that attention, but perhaps we can just ask it to wait. This is a precious time. If your day is busy, then all day long there are demands, there is work, there's family perhaps, and there are all the distractions that we have, that our phones bring, and that our social media and our emails, all that stuff. But we've given ourselves this time for something else. This time is our gift to ourselves. So enjoy it. Let's not spend the time thinking about the rest of the day. Let's make this time special. And all we need to do is be here. That's enough. So how is it to be here? To feel the body. To be in our experience. Not thinking about it, not even observing it. To be present. And the breath, remember, is our friend. The breath is our ally because we follow the breath in and we come into the body. breath settles us. As we breathe out, the muscles soften, they release, and allowing space for any sense of ease, soothing the mind, soothing the body. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a sacred pleasure dome decree, where Alf, the sacred river, ran through caverns, measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So letting the breath be that sacred river. Flowing through the nose, the windpipe, the lungs, into the body, deep into the belly, flowing like a sacred river. A channel of life, of energy. Noticing how the breath flows through the body. Using the image of a river, noticing where the body responds to that image. In the spine, in the belly, in the heart, in the head. Flowing perhaps into the earth, or up from the earth, flowing through the body. Breath rising, breath falling. And following that river, following the breath, following our awareness deeper Alf, the sacred river, ran through caverns, measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. Is there some expansive realm, like a cavern, measureless to man, that we enter as we go deeper into the body and into our experience? Is there, can we sense some deep place where that journey takes us? Below the level of ordinary awareness, down to the sunless sea. Resting, settling in that deep place. Feeling that in the body, sensing the sunless sea. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a sacred pleasure dome decree, where Alf, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. Feeling the body, feeling the breath. Staying present as best we can. And then starting a journey back from this deep place. feeling the body as a whole. Breath moving in the body. Becoming aware of our environment, of sounds, of light, and maybe starting to bring some movement into the body, perhaps rolling the shoulders, moving fingers and toes, whatever's right for you. You may just want to stay with the meditation. You don't have to move, you don't have to open your eyes at this point. It's up to you. And then gently bringing the practice to a close. This transition, this journey out, continues even once we open our eyes and bring our awareness back to the room. Still a process of adjustment. We can just take our time over that to reflect, absorb. So thanks for some comments. Really amazing how the cinematic images of deep caverns and sunless sea influenced my breath. Breathing like a river flowing felt especially dynamic. We'll definitely carry this off the cushion, so helpful. Well, there you go. Samuel Taylor Coleridge was born 250 years ago, and it's still powerful, these images. One way to think about what we're doing, the journey that meditation is taking us on, is about integration. I mean, there are lots of languages. This is a psychological language. We're bringing all the different parts of who we are together into something that's more whole and more powerful. One dimension of that, one axis, is what you can call horizontal integration. So, our thoughts are scattered at the beginning of a meditation. We bring them together. And, that is a long process, actually, learning to be really centered in that sense. But there's another sense of integration as well. That's the other axis, what we can call vertical integration. So we might think of higher states of consciousness. We might think of the depths and deeper energies, which is very much where that poem takes us. So we can integrate our life on a horizontal level in lots of ways. Often we need to resolve things in our lifestyle and our relationships and our maybe our past, and therapy and counseling can be very helpful for those sorts of things. We need to just sort ourselves out on that level. But then there is this other level of what it is to be human, that vertical level as well, and that's where meditation can take us. It can work on both, of course. And either way, The process of centering ourselves is what supports that broader journey of integration in the moment. So how do I center myself? How do I stay centered? We can just ask in the course of the day, am I centered? Am I in touch with my body and my feelings? What helps me stay centered? Yeah, we can just notice that. What pulls me off center? It's really helpful to notice. And how do I work with that? So, you see what I mean? In the moment, we can just have this simple idea of being centered. We keep on coming back in the course of a day, just as we do in the course of a meditation. When the mind goes off, we bring ourselves back. Well, we can do that in the course of the day. And as we do that, we will become more integrated, more present, and then all sorts of things will happen. Never stays the same. So look, to finish off, I think I'm going to read more of this poem. Not all of it, because it's quite long, but let's just listen to it. And it's very dramatic, and I'll try to do it justice without going completely over the top. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alph, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So twice 5 miles of fertile ground, with walls and towers were girdled round, and there were gardens bright, with sinuous rills, where blossomed many an incense-bearing tree, and here were forests, ancient as the hills, enfolding sunny spots of greenery. But oh, that deep romantic chasm, which slanted down the green hill athwart a cedarn cover, a savage place, as holy and enchanted as ere beneath a waning moon was haunted by woman wailing for her demon lover. And from this chasm, with ceaseless turmoil seething, as if this earth in fast, thick pants were breathing, a mighty mountain momently was forced, amid whose swift, half-intermitted burst, huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail or chafy grain beneath the thresher's flail, and mid these dancing rocks at once and ever it flung up momently the sacred river. 5 miles meandering with a mazy motion through wood and dale the sacred river ran, then reached the caverns, measureless to man, and sank in tumult to a lifeless ocean. Wow. So, thank you for sharing this time. Please continue to explore your meditation practice with us. You can check out our daily live meditations at round.glass or on our app. Have a great day and stay centered.